In today's video, we're gonna be talking about Asmongold. And you guys know I've given this guy a lot of high praise, but in this video, man, he's offbeat. He went on a big rant on his stream, talking about Palestine, Israel,
another YouTuber, Twitch streamer that's out there apologizing, and that's a guy by the name of Asmongold. Because you've got tons of people pissed off at this guy, tons of people calling for him to be banned, and that's because during a live stream yesterday, he started talking about Israel and Palestine.
The largest gaming streamer who is relatively apolitical just stepped on perhaps the biggest landmine.
Anyway, you guys don't know, this is Asmongold, and he's currently getting Twitter accounts of
Palestinians. Didn't say Palestinians. In this speech.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch, and also what my plans are going forward.
What the fuck did bro do? So, apparently Asmongold did a thing and the internet is all mad about it. Let's play the original clip and then we'll comment on it.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a f***ing river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Alright, that was a wild one. So, let's understand what Asmongold did. If you've watched the video carefully, Asmongold basically makes two overarching statements. Islamic societies have an inferior culture, and Palestinians deserve to be genocided because they are genocidal themselves. I'll keep it as short as possible. With regard to the first statement, I don't quite see the problem here. What, are we going to pretend as if all cultures are equal? Because this is demonstrably false. Some cultures have objectively bad moral values that shouldn't exist in any decent culture. These include inbreeding, the notion of honor killings, treating women as second-class citizens, exterminating gay people, killing or ostracizing apostates, having blasphemy laws, having an archaic theocratic legal system with, let's say, questionable precepts, and so on. There are a variety of parameters by which we differentiate between different cultures in terms of overall value, and the ones I mentioned are just a sample. And here is an interesting point worth mentioning, that of people conflating the criticism of a specific culture with the criticism of the people. So they read Islam is an inferior culture as Muslims are inferior people, which is why they always qualify statements like these as white supremacy, and it's one of the main reasons why they're mad at Asmongold. This is obviously a stupid stance, and I say obviously because there's no discernible inherent difference of value between humans, no matter their race, culture, geographical location, color, IQ, and so on. But there is a value difference between the cultures that those people belong to. To an extent, that value assessment will inevitably impact our view of the people themselves, because those cultural values that they hold don't exist in ether. They are attached to the people and exist and impact the world through those people's actions. Which means that those who hate Muslims don't hate them for who they are, they hate them for what they do. So I don't think Asmongold said anything even remotely controversial here. There's an obvious value scale between different cultures around the globe because some are better or superior to others, and some are almost literal shit. With regard to the second point, Asmongold is wrong here because no matter what the Palestinian sentiment towards Israel is, Palestinians don't deserve to be genocided. Firstly, because there are actually innocent civilians among them like children and people who couldn't care less about the current state of affairs and don't have any real malintent towards Israel or Jews as a whole. And secondly, because genocide is always wrong no matter who's at the receiving end. And thirdly, because it matters less what people think and more what people do or intend to do. You can't really slaughter an entire nation just because its people would do the same if they could. That just sounds wrong. Naturally, Asmongold did apologize for his take.
So a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, some just general, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say.
Right, so now you're up to date with almost everything that happened and my stance on the matter. Almost everything, because that's not all. Because Asmongold, in his wisdom, decided that the best way to manage the storm coming his way was to have a talk with one of the greatest minds of our generation. A revolutionary thinker. A coal-having, cross-dressing, weightlifting, testosterone-lacking, destiny-hating Hassanabi.
We allowed in here, y'all?
Destiny made you.
Good?
Loser.
And boy oh boy, a lot of shit was said, so naturally I have to comment on it. I won't dissect the entire discussion because it's f***ing 3 hours long, so you go watch that shit yourself, thank you very much. But there are some things that pique my interest.
So you got a lot of heat. You got a lot of hate. One of your most popular, biggest hits was that America deserved 9/11. Remember that?
Yes.
Bad day. Bad day. But what you meant to say is that American interventionism inadvertently caused this to happen. Am I right?
Directly, not even inadvertently. Is a concept that historians call blowback.
I totally agree with you about that. I completely agree with you. I think that you're right. I defended that.
Okay, so when I watched this bit for the first time, I was trying to decide in my head if Asmongold is dumb or just playing dumb because he doesn't want to antagonize Hassan. Because Asmongold thinks that Hassan said that America deserved 9/11 as a pure consequential. America did a thing and then 9/11 happened because of America's actions in the Middle East. He was just stating an obvious consequential, like analyzing a cause and effect, right? Wrong.
America deserved 9/11, dude. F it. I'm saying it. We f***ing totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit. We did. Like, we f***ing fund the people who did 9/11, still to this day.
The word deserved implies the notion of earned. America deserved what came its way. In other words, it's a good thing that 9/11 happened because America deserved it. This is what Hassan was saying, and it was clear as day, especially when you consider the fact that he hates the US, everything it stands for, and everything it does. In Hassan's world, every single problem in the world is the US's fault, and, as of late, Israel's. So everybody who attacked Hassan for his take at the time were right. People did understand exactly what Hassan was saying because Hassan was saying precisely what people thought he did. Then Hassan saw the backlash.
Said America deserved 9/11.
Oh, I've seen that clip.
Everyone's seen that clip at this point. Like, I mean, people clipped it out. Keemstar escalated it. It just elevated it, put it out there. And in a span of 24 hours, it was on Fox News. It made it to Tucker Carlson. It made it to Laura Ingraham. Laura Ingraham was calling Dan Crenshaw in. And I remember thinking, like, I'm so I'm killed. I'm going to be murdered. I remember being terrified.
Realized he f***ed up and devised a plan to save face. And what did he do? Well, he reinvented the definition of the word deserved to now mean a platonic cause and effect, instead of, what it actually means.
Joining me now is Hassan Piker. So you said America deserved 9/11. Did you mean that?
No, obviously not. Within context, I was simply referencing the fact that all of the foreign policy decisions and our arming of insurgent groups in the region and our efforts in destabilizing the Middle East have a direct consequence, a boomerang effect rather, if you will, in causing 9/11.
This take is so brain dead that I was confused for a bit as to why Asmongold would fall for it in the first place. But then I realized that, like I said, Asmongold simply doesn't want to antagonize Hassan. He appears to value what Hassan thinks of him, so he pretty much suspended his common sense and swallowed whole whatever pathetic excuse Hassan came up with post-fact. Don't ask me why he values Hassan's opinions on anything, he just does.
in terms of Islamist fundamentalism or the way that you perceive Palestinians as viewing gay people, there has never been an opportunity for Palestinian people to engage in queer liberation, because in the hierarchy of needs, the number one need for them is to stop Israel from dominating them since 1948. They have never had an opportunity to even think about queer liberation.
That's like saying I can't stop beating my wife every day because I keep getting into fights with my neighbor. The f does one have to do with the other? Well, it's obvious what. Israel needs to be blamed for literally everything that happens in Gaza. It's their fault for everything, including things that Hamas does to its own people. This brain-rotting take makes more sense once you learn a thing or two about Hassan.
I'm a propagandist.
Well, no.
For the record.
I'm not calling
I'm a
you that.
propagandist.
I'm just saying. I'm going to play you.
I'm saying I am.
Okay, well then I want to
I'm saying I am.
I just
before
want to
you
put
even play it.
Okay.
So when Asmongold asks,
don't you feel like it's a bit unfair for you to attribute every instance of bigotry and bad behavior to being the West's fault?
You instantly realize that this question is kinda stupid. Hassan is a self-admitted propagandist, so it's obvious that he doesn't think it's unfair. For him, is the definition of fairness. It's how he views the world.
No, I think I have a very realistic and materialist analysis of these sorts of things.
See? The rest of the video revolves around similar talking points. America bad, Israel bad, Palestinians good, Muslims peaceful and oppressed. So if that sounds like appealing to you, go right ahead. Like the video, subscribe, and catch you next time.
There has never been an opportunity for Palestinian people to engage in queer liberation because...
Shut the f*** up, nigga!